Hey, it's Jack Noke, Jack in the Attic. We're back, we're doing it again. It's another goth knitting video. There will be some ambient noise today. My options are really be awake at the same time as other people who are going to make noise, or no sunlight at all. And it is snowing, so I'm sure the heater's going to kick on any moment now. Anyway, another goth knitting video. Let's get the concept and caveats out of the way first. This is simply a collection of knitting patterns that I can see fitting into an alternative wardrobe. I do lean pretty cozy and pretty comfortable. That does impact how I make these videos, but it's not just for me. So, again, pieces I can see fitting into an alternative wardrobe. It's nothing more than that. Rarely are the items in these videos like inherently alternative, but I think styling and accessorizing really make an outfit. But we are looking for certain features to make this doable. We're looking for interesting details. We're looking for asymmetrical shapes, mesh, sheer, lace, distressed, dramatic sleeves, all of that. Did it just get darker? Winter has not even started and we're already struggling. Luckily, there will be photos of all of the items I'm showing today, so I don't really need to be seen. Moving on. DIY has always been a huge element of many alternative fashions, and I am on an endless quest to get knitwear recognized for its alt potential. We're discussing potential. This will be knitting patterns only, and I'm saying that up front. I don't intend to make crochet versions of this video because I think there are already a lot of really great goth crochet pattern videos out there. I do have a story highlight on my Instagram with links to several of my favorite of those videos. I should probably update that because there are definitely more by now. Every pattern we talk about will be linked below. I won't have a Ravelry collection simply because I don't use Ravelry like that, I'm sorry. Moving right along, we will start with tank tops. There aren't too many because, again, it is literally snowing right now. I don't have a lot of tank tops on the mind, even though I do wear them year-round for layering. Also, all of the patterns shown today are size inclusive, fitting at least chest measurements of 30 to 60 inches or 76 to 152 centimeters after taking ease into account. And I do have to acknowledge that 60 inches as the standard for size inclusive is arbitrary, and I don't know who decided it when, and many of these patterns do fit an even wider size range. I'm down here now so that you can see the patterns and the names. Starting with the staple linen top and a chance for me to pronounce Joji Locatelli's name correctly for once or closer to correct. I still have a very American mouth, sorry. Anyway, I never shut up about loving linen, and I love the texture of this top. I think it would be a great breezy piece for summer or a layering piece for the rest of the year. The Outline Tank by Jessie Maed is similarly a familiar shape, a familiar staple piece, but with interesting details. Again, great for summer, perfect to layer with other pieces for the rest of the year. And Jessie Maed Designs patterns are always so well written. They'll always be among my favorites. The last tank top introduces kind of a mini section, which is offerings for the Victorian goth. This tank top in particular reminds me so much of a corset cover with the shape, the lace, the tie at the waist. Didn't mean to rhyme. It's cute. And as always, picture it in black. Staying in the mini category of Victorian-ish, but moving on to short sleeve tops, we do have two from Knitting for Breakfast. First, this particular type of yoke always reminds me of the late Victorian, early Edwardian style, Anything with lace and a ruffle near the neck, I think, tends to get interpreted as Victorian, and we're not worrying about historical accuracy today. The next top is a similar shape, but more lace, more ruffle. Who could be mad at that? I think this one is slightly more my style, and that could just be the 100% linen yarn the sample was knit with. I'm probably going to mispronounce a lot of names in this video and every video forever. I'm so sorry. Continuing with short sleeve tops, but moving on to something more modern looking, the mica tee is perfectly distressed with dropped stitches while still a bit more professional, especially if layered. I work in a pretty casual office though, so take that with a grain of salt. The shape of the cutout adds so much interest to an otherwise classic silhouette. Exactly what we're looking for. Next up is the Mischief Maker and off-the-shoulder lace crop top. It's very meshy, very 80s inspired. And once again, you get the versatility of a great layering piece. Another off-the-shoulder top, the Lost Off-Shoulder. It's a bit more of a classic piece, definitely would need some styling to read alt, but picture it with a long flowy skirt, like a chain belt or some sort of chunky belt, and big stompy boots, and in black. Do you see the vision? And I can't bring up the outline tank without talking about the outline tee. I have this pattern, I haven't knit it yet. A very similar concept here, but with a little more coverage. It is a basic staple, but a cool drop stitch detail included. Makes it that much more interesting. Now, how in the world have I done multiple of these videos and I've never talked about the Look at My Holes top? How? Oversized fishnet lace all over. I believe this pattern was kind of an instant classic because it's so recognizable. If you've never walked into a yarn store and asked a complete stranger, is that the Look at My Holes top? You should try it. It's exhilarating. Anyway, James N. Watts does mesh like no one else. I am wearing the partition pullover right now. Does mesh like no one else. The Everyday Attitude tee. I have this pattern as well. I also haven't knit it yet, but I have plans. This is a much more casual piece, but the boxy fit, the micro stripes, the slightly cropped length all make it kind of the perfect tee in my mind. I can say I enjoy Suzanne Somers' pattern writing style. There's so much detail, but it's not overwhelming. The Base Spirit tee leads us into our next mini section, which is sheer everything. The word of the day is diaphanous. This is a classic t-shirt shape, but ghostly. So many styling options, ranging from pretty daring to totally modest. Like imagine this as a layer over a long sleeve top or dress just to add the texture. Another sheer and airy top, but with long sleeves. It's another pattern from Jessie Maed Designs, so you know it's good. I love the extra long sleeve. Long length in general, the super wide folded hem. It's so long. So much room for belts. Careful with buckle belts though. This is not one you'd want to snag. Next up is another sheer sweater, but knit in Aran weight yarn for a chunkier look. We're picturing it in black or stripes. I hadn't thought about stripes for this one, but now it's kind of all I can think about. Lots of positive ease, boxy fit, and knit on 8 and 10 millimeter needles, all of which lends it a slightly distressed look without actually doing any distressing. Staying in the long sleeve category, kind of in the sheer category, and definitely in the lace category, this top has a lot of features that I love. Is it linen again? Yes, you got me. But the texture, the drape, the fit, the fact that it's worked flat and then seamed, straight needle enjoyers, this is for you. Mesh, more mesh. Mesh will always be heavily featured in these videos for obvious reasons. It's the ultimate layering best friend, especially as the weather changes. Still looking at snow out the window, it's November. I especially love that this pattern has optional thumb holes. I will never miss the opportunity to stress that mesh is only your friend if sunscreen is also your friend. I've learned my lesson. You don't have to learn your lesson. You can skip that lesson, go straight to sunscreen. Someone will inevitably comment, I think it's fun. I think having a mesh-shaped sunburn is fun. It's not fun. Anyway, more mesh. But this time more lacy? And kind of gives an illusion of vertical stripes, which I love. I can see this piece being very easy to dress up with the right layers, and the lace pattern kind of hints at being like botanical without being outright floral, like vines. It looks kind of like vines if you look really close. Does that make any sense? Am I imagining this? Another pattern I'm deeply surprised I haven't already mentioned is the Helix halter. I have knit the Helix pullover. It was actually my first experience knitting lace and I loved it. Didn't love my yarn choice and I will be frogging it, but I would absolutely knit it again with a drapier yarn. This version can be knit as a tank top or a cold shoulder pullover, but I love the latter so much. It's going in the long sleeve category, even though there are multiple options. Moving on to cardigans, and we are starting strong with the Jelly Cube cardigan. This has been recommended to me multiple times, and you're all correct. What can I even say about this pattern that isn't clear from the photos? It's stunning. It's the perfect garment. I fear the day I finish one because it will become my new personality instantly. Sheer, dramatic sleeves, waist tie. It's perfect. The Moondance cardigan popped up on my Ravelry feed and I loved it instantly. You may have heard me say that mesh and stripes are friends. Sheer and stripes are also friends. It's a very classic cardigan shape that we know and love, but the sheer stripes are so cool. And it doesn't hurt to see a sample knit in black. Never does. Next up is a cardigan that I can't look at without thinking it's the perfect knit version of the X-stitch crochet cardigan I wear all the time. With the bonus of a hood, the open mesh stitches make this super versatile and suitable for warmer weather. Are you picturing it in black? I'm picturing it in black. The name of this one, the chunk again. Don't make me say it again. There's something perfect about a long cardigan, perhaps paired with a short skirt, perhaps with fingernails that shine like justice, but for real, a long cardigan is so dramatic without trying. It's the I could be casual, but instead, boom, long-ass cozy cardigan. I may feel particularly strong about this as kind of a coat hater. I don't like a rigid garment. So big fan of a long cardigan, always. We do have a couple of dresses on this list, and this one in particular is, I'm so sorry, I think only currently available in the form of a kit with all the yarn needed to knit it? Question mark? If someone knows any differently, please let me know. I would love to knit this without having to buy a specific yarn. I'll include any link that I think might be helpful, but I do kind of have to accept that, at least for me, this is exclusively inspiration to add a ruffle collar to my next dress. I don't usually include a pattern that you can't have in these, so I will move right along. Dwelling on it would be cruel. But great news, we are heading straight into something truly incredible. The black cloud dress. Remember how the word of the day is diaphanous? Yeah. The absolute drama, the drape, the flow. This is not a pattern, but a knitting recipe, meaning it's for all sizes at any gauge. Does this look like a labor of love with approximately 600 million stitches? Yes. Worth it? Also yes. We only have a few accessories today. This is a pretty, can I say it's a top-heavy list without... anyway. But still, we have some great accessories. Starting with one I've been seeing everywhere very suddenly, and for good reason. I am an absolute sucker for a spiderweb pattern. It gets me every time. And a spiderweb collar? I don't stand a chance. How freaking cute. And this did lead me to check out the designer's other patterns. I hate to say this, but despite my affinity for cobwebs and bats, I am usually not a skull design person, but a monochromatic, subtle skull, I like that. I'm into that. The Ghost Knitter's cowl is exactly that, which I really appreciate. The Ghost Knitter's shawl is slightly less subtle if that's your thing, but I can't stop staring at the tiny black and white stripes in the sample photo. I cannot resist tiny black and white stripes. I think in any other circumstance, this could be a bit of a wild card, but y'all know me, there's gonna be a capelet and there's gonna be a ruffle collar. Don't even worry. The Bella capelet is lightweight, flowy, lacy, delicate, and most importantly, a capelet. I don't know why, but I think capelets are cool. We're not wearing them nearly enough. 2026, year of the capelet? Maybe? Manifesting. And because I am me, we must end on a ruffled collar. We must. This pattern comes in sizes from tiny baby to adult XL in case you want to Adams your entire family. Whether the vibe is Wednesday or Sabrina, this piece is simple but not too subtle. And personally, I think it screams talk to me about yarn. Is that just me? We did it. We made it. We're done. I've already been talking for too long, so let's get right to it. What did you love? What have you already made? And what did I miss? I always love hearing about new patterns from you all, and I appreciate it extra when the recommendations in the comments are also for a broad range of sizes. As always, I'm so sorry about your Ravelry favorites list. I'm right there with you. Of course, don't forget to rest your hands, take care of your joints, take lots of breaks, but always go and live your best yarny life, and I will see you next time.